Flatbush stand up. From Brooklyn to the island of the continent. 29 años after.
Gringo Man, el original. Flatbush stand up. BabyQuake song. Don't know that me, Gringo Man.
The founder is back. Brrrra. Gringo Man, el original. El original. En los 90 yo encendí la llama, lírica caliente que cualquiera desarma. Desde Flatbush, esquina Church Avenue, reggaeton con danza. Yo puse la base, vine a hacer flow y subí la movida. Antes que el mundo supiera ya lo tenía en vida. No vengo a quitar corona, vengo a recordarte que el origen vive en mí y es hora de levantarte. Yo soy el que empezó la vibra en Brooklyn.
Yo. Right, which part? The front part, which part? The drop off. Alright. Yeah.
Yo soy el que empezó la vibra en Brooklyn, el original. Juego pa' que tú lo sientas. Yo soy el que puso el ritmo en la esquina, el original. Unión en cada letra.
How long it took from Orlando to come down here?
About 301.
And this is a day in the life of
Gringo Man.
Gringo Man. How long you been in the business, bro?
Since 1981. Over about 42 years.
Tell them some tune where you do.
Gales de todos lados, de Panamá, Puerto Rico y Santo Domingo. ¿Dónde lo conseguiste, mami? ¿Dónde lo conseguiste? ¿Dónde conseguiste cuerpo de campeona? Tengo la rama, llama. Descuidado, yo vivía con toda clase de amistad, corriendo como un loco. Estabas inquieto y ahora te volviste un matón. Por todo el mundo entero se están burlando. Me gusta mi carro, me gusta mi casa, pero yo amo mi dinero. Pero lo más prefiero, mi morena, tiny whiny, media tu cuerpo. Ay!
World Music Views, this is a day in the life of Gringo Man live on World Music Views.
The architect behind the global multi-billion-dollar industry known today as Reggaeton. I can't show inside this about my wife money give me this. So me I go make a wish because before I wasn't free enough to come by. When JR would have tell me before, hey, come to Miami, I can't come. You have to ask permission and then deny me. But no, God broke all the chain. Amen, Monique. See that? Gringo Man. Ay, respect party. I mean my original Gringo Man, the seed of Reggaeton.
Yo soy el que empezó la vibra en Brooklyn, el original. Juego pa' que tú lo sientas. Yo soy el que puso el ritmo en la esquina, el original. Unión en cada letra. 29 años, la calle me llamó, pero mi mente, mi pluma nunca se apagó.
So yo, first of all, you have kids?
Yeah, one son.
Before
before we get locked.
So it's a big kid.
Yeah, and big.
What was that like not being there with them?
It was hard because he was ashamed of me. Because not really of me, he was ashamed because all the kids was having their dad and their mother take them to school, but his dad wasn't there for him. So his mother, she's Jamaican, Shelly, Rosalind Beswick. So she was like, Jaimito, his name is Jaimito, just like mine, and she was like, he's hurt. I said, hurt for what? She said, because you're not there and all the kids going to school with their kids, with their children, and you're not there with him. So I usually, she'll bring him, he'll be, happy to see me, but it used to be painful because every time we're leaving, he start crying. Daddy, I want to stay. I said, no, you can't stay here. You can't, I don't want you here. You can't stay here. And then after, when I got to Atlanta, I helped a little girl named Lucretia Murray. She was accused for murder, 11-year-old in Austin, Texas. And I went to the Rasta community, we used to go congregate over there. And they gave out a newspaper article from the final call. And the leader for the community, he started reading it. And I'm like, yo, I said, yo, B, so what we gonna do about this? So he said, what we can't do nothing because, we're there at prison. I said, yo, that she could be any one of our daughters. Yo, then get it woman, the little girl life. Yo, we have to do something. Say, yo, Panama, he called me Panama in prison because I'm from Panama. So I said, yo, we have to do something. So one dude was like, shit, we need money for right now for my kids, so you know. I said, are you serious? So I left, because you usually have 2 movements after count, the 4 o'clock count. That's the national count to make sure all the heads is in prison. So I went out and I got down on my knees, never forget. And I said, God, help me, show me how I can help this little girl. You know, she's an 11-year-old. They charged her with murder and gave her life. You know, help me, show me. And during the night, I had a vision to do a fundraiser. Mind you, I never did a fundraiser. I'm young. I came in at 24 years old, 23, and I never did the write-up, but I seen it in the vision. You know, name, register number. That's what we known by. I'm not known by Jaime Davis. I'm known by 37593-053. That's my number. That's my name. You know, they don't know you, but when they call you for mail, they call you by your last name, but you got to give your number.
It's like Toots, 54.
Yes, that's right. 54, that's my number. You know, so now I seen it, but I said, man, if Willie Scott, that's one of the wickedest wardens, a black warden. I said, if he ever catch me, I raise funds in this prison, you know, he gonna put me in the basement of this prison. But I said, I have to do this. So what I did, what I know to do, I called the radio station. I called WRFG 89.3 FM. They used to have changes with Jason Walker. So I called Jason. I said, hey, Jason Walker. I said, yo, I need to do an interview. I want to raise funds for a little girl in Texas, 11-year-old black girl, charged for the murder of a 2-year-old baby, Jayla Belton. So he said, I just, what do you want to do? He said, I want to do an interview, but I want to do it like right before lockdown with everybody listening to the radio. He said, I just call me and they put you right in. So the next day, boom, Monday, he put me right in and I started talking about the situation. So I'm raising funds. So now,
I think we're taking the regular road and not we are going to 95.
Yeah, so now, to my surprise,
I thought this was 1 hour, it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes. We be there by 1:50.
Yeah.
So now, I'm going out, dude, stop. Yo, Panna, yo, I work in the kitchen, man. I don't get that much. I get $5 a month. Yo, but I give you a bucket stamp. A bucket stamp is 20 loose stamps. It's $5. I said, I have no problem. I'm gonna take the stamp and I'm gonna convert it into money by selling it to the ticket man. Because inside gambling is big business. Football, basketball, them bet on anything. So I raised over $3,000. And I contacted an organization, the Youth Task Force, with Angela Brown, the director. So I explained to her the situation. She said, but brother, you in prison. And we don't have the funding to take on a case like that and go all the way to Austin, Texas. So I said, don't worry, we'll cover it. She said, you'll cover it. I said, brother, you're all in prison. We can't. I said, leave that to me. She said, I gotta go to Miami. She said, I gotta go to Miami and to do a speaking engagement. So when I come back, I said, when you come back, you're gonna see the checks. When she came back, she seen over $3,000 worth of checks, prison checks. I didn't even notice. They held an immediate, urgent meeting because they wanted to know. We working with political prisoners, and they telling us if the federal system is controlled and they can't make no money. But here's a young kid raised over $3,000 for this cause. Who is he? And
was that like the genesis of how you started to work on your own case that led to Trump pardoning you?
No, I started working on my own case. Once I came in, I was working on my case. But once I learned how to litigate, it was a Jamaican guy named Lafayette, Shechem Lafayette, you know, and I used to be getting into a lot of trouble because, mind you, 3 life sentences plus 85 years. 3 life sentences plus 85 years. Yo.
That's what you had?
That's what I had. I was sentenced to die with.
What was the conviction?
The conviction for murder of a federal officer and conspiracy to distribute drugs. And they.
So it's RICO.
Now they didn't. They give me It's like RICO. It's like RICO, but it's a CC, Continuing Criminal Enterprise. And they incorporated the murder in it. And when the officer was dead, they deputized them as a federal agent for life. And you can't do that. But everybody was down with the lick, how we say it. Everybody knew, okay, we gotta find this individual guilty. The guys were already found guilty in the state. 3 of my co-defendants in the state with life. But they said we have to get this one off, because that's why in my book called Visionary, The Rise and Fall of the Reggaeton Man, I said fame comes with a steep price. That's the subtitle of the book. Because when you're young, you want to be famous, but it comes with a price, because now I was in the eyes of the federal government. He speaks Spanish, he speaks Patois, he speaks English, he's in all 3 markets. Yo, he could work with us. They literally stopped me and asked me to infiltrate the hip hop market, the reggae market, and the Latin market. I was in all three. I was in all 3 markets. Yeah. So I said,
infiltrated how? Are you getting this? Make sure you're getting this, right?
Yo,
infiltrated how?
Because they wanted somebody to, let's say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, you got your record label, but in the underground, you also selling drugs or you selling weed. A lot of the producers, promoters, record labels, the music industry,
like the hip hop police.
Yes, it exactly with the like the hip hop police, but this was with the federal government. So I tell them, I said, am I under arrest? They stopped me. Never forget a black BMW. I said, excuse me, sir, am I under arrest? He said, no. So I said, can I leave? He said, yes, but you need to listen. I said, I don't need to listen. Am I under arrest? I asked him again. He said, no. I said, okay, I'm leaving. He said, take this card. He said, think about it. I said, I don't have to think about it. So he said, well, listen, if you don't help us, you see that murder of the police in Syracuse? We'll finish. When we finish with you, you'll have everything to do with that murder. I said, I was exonerated from that. They know I had nothing to do with it. But when we finish with you, you'll have everything to do. I said, can I leave? He said, yes. I left. I went to Jamaica now with Mr. Du. Mr. Du was my producer. He took me to Jamaica. So while I'm in Jamaica now, my sister called crying, yo, this. I said, Damaris, whoa, what happened? Something happened to my mother, my father. What's going on? She said, the federal government, they looking for you, and I don't know. I said, call my father and tell him that because the lieutenant already had told him I didn't have nothing to do. The captain said Jaime Davis had nothing to do with this. But now the federal government looking for me. Mr. Du said, yo, Gringo, don't go back to the U.S. You don't know about the feds. I said, yo, I didn't do this. He said, it ain't about you not doing this. It's how they play. They play dirty. Don't go back. But I'm like, man, I ain't gonna run. I ain't do none of that. Me not knowing. Yeah, because I'm young. Me not knowing how they play. They destroyed all the evidence proving my innocence. They had money orders where I signed that day, paying the rent. They got rid of it. Witnesses got rid of them. They did a hell of a conspiracy that messed up my whole life. So now I ended up going to trial. They lied to one of my co-defendants. He was 16, and they told him, well, if you plead self-defense, they'll drop the murder against everybody, and it'll only be on you. But you got to say that Jaime Davidson gave you the murder weapon. So he said, but then they're gonna find him guilty. He said, no, because you pleaded self-defense, it's only on you. When he did that, they flipped the script and gave us Pinkerton theory. Whatever, if you find him guilty, you gotta find everybody guilty. Find him innocent, you find everybody innocent. There's no way you're gonna find him innocent, because when they ask you where you live at, Elmira State Prison, why you over there for the murder of Wally Howard Jr.? Hold up, and that's the same case we in here for. They found me guilty. The jury did not want to find me guilty. The jury was asking, like, how can we find Jaime Davidson not guilty? But the Pinkerton theory says that once you prove that there was a conspiracy and you tie Mr. Davidson to the conspiracy, whenever if you find the accused, the murder, the trigger man guilty, you gotta find everybody guilty. And I was found guilty. But listen to this.
It's a conspiracy charge.
Yes, a conspiracy charge. But listen to this.
Which is worse than an actual charge.
That's right. And when we went downstairs, when I found we were found guilty, the marshal said to me, he said, Mr. Davidson, you could go home tomorrow. I said, "Hi, they just found me guilty. They won't give me life." He said, "No, talk to your lawyer. You know what? We need you." I said, "Yeah, you need me." He said, "Man, my other court friend listening." He said, "Hey man, what kind of fuckery am I talking about, Culture Papi?" I said, "Yo, I ain't doing that." He said, "Man, listen, you talk to your lawyer. You know, we get you out. You know, things always happen in cases, and we'll reverse it, and you will go out." I said, "Man, I ain't doing none of that." Boom.
So they wanted you to snitch, basically.
Yes, but the critical part is that I just got found guilty, and not before I got found guilty. But how bad they wanted me, they didn't even care that they found me guilty. They still was gonna do something where the judge could do an acquittal, and the prosecutor would have dropped the charges because they had all the evidence proving my innocence. So they knew what they could do to get me. That's how bad they wanted to infiltrate these markets. And during that time, I recorded with damn near all the producers because everybody wanted, yo, that dude sound different from all these Panamanian dudes. Him have that actual, yo, him sound this, yo, everybody looking, yo, where Gringo there? Yo, that's why I recorded with damn near all the producers. Because even though they had El General, the other producer had Nando Boom, they wanted me because it's like, I grew up in the heart of the dancehall. So I adopted that actual voice, the actual slang, the style, the delivery, everything. And when Culture Papi, my co-defendant, Screechy Dan, James Man, those three are my teachers, they'll be like, yo, hold on. You see all them man, them take the mic and then just jump and start DJ. No, you don't do that. Talk to the people. Make them know what you will talk about. You see, and then you go in your delivery. Don't just grab the mic and no, you don't do that. Them Screechy Dan, I used to go with him to the park in Buffalo, in New York, in Brooklyn, by Eastern Parkway. Sit down there and he helped me write songs. My first song that I did was Professional. I'm gonna leave this to when we sit down, because I want you to really hear that this is where everybody got the idea to record the Jamaican hits into Spanish. And they wanted me to do the same thing. But I was like, nah, because mind you, the owner of Earthquake Flyer gave me the sound system. So if I record, now I gotta leave. So what's gonna happen with BabyQuake? I can't leave it with somebody else. One person give it to me, and then I'm gonna give it to somebody else. It can't work that way. And then my little friend of mine say, yo, hey man, you're wrong. You abandon the whole sound system and the whole of it, so why I'm doing it? So I didn't want to do that. I didn't even entertain. So we just kept, and we built the movement. Yeah. We built the movement. They had in Biltmore 4 sounds clash. BabyQuake, Eruption, Aquarius, and Real Rock in Biltmore Ballroom in 1986. BabyQuake win. The crowd started balling, we want BabyQuake, we want BabyQuake. Smurf vex, him no want lose. Him jump up on the top of the counter by the bar, and him start, and me say, Roots, grab him thing. And me say Roots, hold on. Me say, Smurf, give me the trophy. Give me the, don't do that. Say, Roots, hold on, man. Give me the trophy. And then we're gonna lick him down, you know. Because one thing back then in Brooklyn, it was, you have to make people know, say, yo, you're not playing, you're serious. And Earthquake, like, no man not disrespect Earthquake, even though it's a BabyQuake, and the son this, but the father have all them brothers, cousin, everybody, they in the dance, I protect the sound system. You see? So when him look and give me the trophy. So we continue playing BabyQuake. And we never use, and may rest in peace, and Winston Jr. Dyer. him father used to own Love People. And him was my selector then. JR, all we win, them did I play some dub plate. Him come with some brand new Super Cat. Vineyard Party. Never forget this Vineyard Party. See Boobs there. And Allah for Youth. Them are Allah for Youth. What's the name of that song?
Them a cry for the youth.
Yeah, 3 song by Super Cat. I saw it with pure record, you know. Because they get it from Love People, from Carlton, brand new. Nobody in Brooklyn. They have them song. Ungo Carlton from Love People and Carlton give him a copy so he could play at the dance, and I saw BabyQuake win. He said, God wins him. Tell him, say, yo, why do not play dub play? Try play this tune now. Nobody never have it. I'm say, yo, if una can play any one of them tune here, una win and we shut off. Cause me ask Winter and put me say, yo, sure, it's a coconut, it call me coke, it's a coconut. They don't have this. It just come from Jamaica. It just released. Nobody don't have this. I say, alright, and I saw we win. And BabyQuake became the #1 song in a Flatbush. But you see, in a Flatbush you have tears. You see, we have grow up, you still have like Downbeat, you have you have Downbeat, you have the next sound system where it named the from the 90s, you have Minimart, you have enough of them sound system that I play. You see, so
I want to get back to the point where you start to work on the case
okay,
take me up to when the case finally
Lafayette
ended.
Yeah, so Lafayette, him tell me say him I get in enough trouble in that was 94 to 96 in with a presidential name Allenwood Penn, and him say, yo B, he talk to you. Guy, he was one of the leader from Waterhouse. And him say, yo B, you have too much time for that getting in trouble. Every minute beer say, you want a man day in trouble and you do this to a man and want to you. He said, there's nothing wrong with me. He said, yo, look at you, yo. Wait right here, so and give me a big thick book like this. He said, go and read that book. And when you done read that book, beat me in the law library about 2 weeks. Go and read it. I'll show you some things. He said, some people think badness are just lick down a man, tab up a man, shoot down a man. No. He said, youngster, you don't find no dumb youngster. Real youngster smart. You see them come on over there, you see, man, them use them for shoot up people. You know why? They don't have this. He was the leader for Waterhouse, then he was the leader for the 90s Posse back then in Brooklyn. And
who that? When them?
Lafayette, check him Lafayette, they call him foreigner.
When them?
Huh? We don't know if him come out from prison. And him tell me so after the 2 weeks we got the law library. So the whole the gully man them and them over there so them a play domino and they look at me say look man that them a play domino and the man have life you know. Them a play domino. Look which part of there, law library. And you would think you have 1,400 people in prison and enough empty table chairs in the law library, you know. You would think the law library full, law library empty. And he said, I'll show you how to type. He started showing me how to type and justify. He said, I will start typing with me. I type the motions. So I type, he said, yo, but I don't know what I type. He said, just go and read it. Read it like I read a story. He said, the minute you start understanding and you start correct me if me make a mistake, at that time I'll take it to the next level. So a couple times, well, they correct him and say, yo, foreigner, this no look right, you know, this wrong because he said this and he said, see that, so that me I tell you. So him a pay me $100 to type 20 pages. But these are man from street. Me I promote me one show, me I make me one money. So I say blood clot, $100. And he might collect 3-5 grand. I said, okay. Me want to be the litigator. Me need to make a money. So me I come from and say, yo, me need to make a money. So now, me know we start litigate now. So him send one of the gully man them. Him say, yo, in the one I post conviction motion. So him say, yo, go see Panama. Panama will do it for you. So when the man come to me, him say, yo, Gringo, you want to say, foreigner said to talk to you, and you have to work on the motion. I say, hey, I'll charge you 500. Man will come and say, 500? He said, you look and say, why do you think foreigner send you to me? Because foreigner will charge you 3 grand, 5 grand. He said, I me not help you. I said, Star, where I deal with? He said, whatever you want to do. He said, that way I talk about it, you always with the badness, no. Because like you want to force me to work on your kid. When time you play domino over there, so I'm going to laugh off of me. Because I go to the law library, because they used to laugh off of me now. The way I go, law library, I go for type for Byron. Go on, man, go on. I'm going with the book and boom. No. Byron look at me one day and say, you're vexed, you know. None of them have a knife, you know. But they know say you walk with 2, you know. And they know say you're not playing, you know. He say, so them soon come and pay you. Because they know say they can't pressure you. He say, keep doing what you do. Because you will get good. And you need that to fight your case, you know. You need money. And nobody now go help you out this if you not have no money, you know, I mean. You can't be by my real name now. You hear what me I tell you? Say, hey. When time I left Allenwood Penitentiary, we go Atlanta, 96. Now like the first 6 months to a year, we make over 50 grand. Over this, 50 grand. No hustling enough. Doing law work. Back them day, down to the youngest little kid have money, you know. Me I work on a Colombian man case. Him pay me 5 grand and he tell me, say, yo, if you can reopen my case, me give you 10 grand. I say, alright. Then me have a Puerto Rican man named Miguel Rivera. He might bring customer to me, 5 grand yasso, 8 grand yasso. I mean, I say, Lord God, everything well Lafayette show me. It was right. I take the money and I donate it to the youth task force. So the youth task force was having financial problems. So we talked to Miguel, I said, Miguel, we need to make some money to help them save the pink house. He said, alright, you go talk to one of them brethren them, boom, we get 5 grand here, so and we help them save them one, put the house, put my name in the mortgage, in the deed for the house. I said, no, the federal government want to come and get that. Me good. So everybody come and tell say, yo, send the money to the youth task force. The Colombian man say, yo, you're crazy. You work for this. Why are you sending that money over there? You didn't even know these people. I said, listen, man, money ain't gonna get me out of this. You know, I just want to donate it. That same organization is who picked up my case after Lucretia Murray. April 15, 1990, while we working on Lucretia Murray's case. We doing media on WRFG, Jason Walker, Changes International, yo, doing April 15, 1999, Lucretia Murray is free. Amy Davidson, the spark for Lucretia campaign. Yo, this is when I found my purpose in life. The whole prison started kicked down the door with lockdown. Yo, 8 o'clock. After the 8 o'clock comes, they never open up. And Angela Brown step on WRG and she said, I want to talk to all the brothers in Atlanta Penitentiary. Our little sister Lucretia Murray is free. Yo, you want to say, yo, we did it. Then I kicked down the door. Yo, we did it. Sit down. and they sell it Terry. Terry said, yo, we did it, yo, Pan. I said, but Terry, you helped me too, because one time I go to the yard with the farm, with the fundraiser, and he say, yo, let me get that. Because him no want me to get caught, you know. Oh shit. No, nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I him used to take the farm. That way, if anything, I him get caught with it. I say, yo, we can't afford for you to get caught, you know. So the man in my prison always, I look out for you and I saw the man say, yo, you have to fight your case, you know. You have to fight your case. I mean, I fight my case. Then my brother, Isaac Pearson, him retired after about 37 years. A full bird colonel in the Air Force. We tell him 1999. I said, Isaac, I need to get an expert. I said, because I remember Papi said the police was killed by another police officer. So he said, all right.
Me están pidiendo algo que rompa discoteca exclusivamente para mis nenas. Me están pidiendo algo que rompa discoteca. Me llaman y me dicen el poeta. Me están pidiendo algo que rompa discoteca exclusivamente para mis nenas. Hasta el piso.
Yeah, man.
From Panama to the world. Gringo Man with OAPB on the track. Feel the 90s, girl West still a Shelly dance. Hear me now.
Pull up the reason, selection. Girls up.
Girl, this up in the place, whole crowd get wild. 90s style with the wickedest smile. From back in the gate, you are the dance floor queen. When you come back, girl, you still look clean. Smooth like the cocoa butter cream. Waistline hot like the summer sunbeam. Any man see you, then start the dream. On the rhythm, you are right like you pan jet ski. Wind up, girl, rock out for me. Bubble on the bass, set your spirit free. Old school girl with the new school kid. You are the fire when the world dance need.
Wind up.
Girl, rock out for me. Bubble on the bass, set your spirit free. Old school girl with the new school kid. You are the fire when the world dance need. Girl, you not fade out to a still top brand. One leap a girl can't step in on your flank. 90s fashion with the gold chain swing. Me love how you rock the bamboo earring.
You walking out the place.
Man of the saloon. Every little step you take, girl, look cute. Hot girl energy, you full of the road. Pan any rhythm, you a kick like boot.
Wind up.
Girl, rock out for me. Bubble on the bass, set your spirit free. Old school girl with the new school kid. You are the fire when the world dance need.
You are the real old dance.
90s girl, them there, yeah man. Who fi broke up on the floor, me man. Who still hot from long time, me man. The bubble, pan time. From Panama straight to the yard, me say. Girl, tell it dance anywhere you lay. In a sneakers or in a heels way. You are the queen way around the display. Man, them a beg for one dance with you. Girl, your body up, the magic it true. Every selector one round the tune for you. Pull up, will it back one more for you.
Wind up.
Girl, rock out for me. Bubble on the bass, set your spirit free. Old school girl with the new school kid. You are the fire when the world dance need. Wind up. Esta otra producción de Make and the Green. Omar Pacheco, toda Reggaeton y Gringo Man. BabyQuake. ¡Ay! De Panamá para el mundo entero. Esta es la fundación Gringo Man. La semilla del reggaetón.
So what was the difference between, well, what you were telling me earlier was how the case got to Trump.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did this was the organization that you were supporting?
Yeah, but they were not the one that got it to Trump. How that came about, my attorney, Bettina Shine, I met her in the ending of 2003, and she reviewed my case, and she couldn't believe, with all that evidence proving my innocence, what I was doing in prison. So she said, don't worry, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to help you. So I had met the world's youngest con artist from France. You know, he's the one that introduced me to Bettina Shine, and he spoke to her about me. We was in Lewisburg Penitentiary in Pennsylvania.
In 1 mile, keep left to merge onto I.
So after that, she started working on my case. My case was reversed by Justice Sonia Sotomayor when she was in the Second Circuit. But it was an uphill battle because the judge and the prosecutor would call the prison and they get me fired from the law library, education, until it came to a point she said, we're gonna go for clemency. So during the COVID, right before COVID in 2020, January 15th, she came and visited me with her husband. You know, he's another high-profile attorney. You know, Alan Futerfas. He used to represent Donald Trump Jr. So now she started working on my clemency petition during COVID. So now Alice Marie Johnson, I have called her one day and said, Miss Shine, I'm seeing Alice Marie Johnson, who Kim Kardashian helped. She is helping a lot of people and she's getting people out on clemency. She said, don't worry, I mean, just take it easy. Because she had already, you know, knew what she was gonna do. So she took the petition, sent it to Alice Marie Johnson. Now her daughter, Katina, saw my case on change.org and she ran to her mother, Mommy, Mira, look, Jaime Davidson, look at all this evidence, he's innocent. Because Trump wanted them to find cases that deserve a second chance. So she said, Jaime Davidson, that name sounds familiar. This is the conversation that Alice Johnson is telling me after I got out. And she said, she went into her office and she seen right on the table was my petition that Bettina Shine, she and Jaime Davidson. She said, this is work of God. She said, God, I'm gonna fight for this man, do everything in my power. Tie this petition to my hip, fight to get him out of here. And that's how it is. She took the petition, put it on Trump's desk, through the process. They reviewed it, his attorneys, and everybody was like, why is this man even Trump? Why is this man in prison with all this evidence proving his innocence? And my brother, he was the Inspector General for the Department of Defense of the whole United States. He now, on the 18th of January, I called him. We was locked down for COVID and what happened at the Capitol. So I called him and I said, hey, you heard from the lawyer? He said, anybody talk to you? I said, no. I said, but hey, do you talk to the lawyer? So I'm anxious because I gotta go get ice, hot water, and then lock back in. You know, so they give us 30 minutes each and I gotta take a shower. He said, I'm talking to a free man. I said, really, stop playing. What he said, I'm talking to a free man. He said, right now, don't you hear? I'm driving. Isaac and I, my other brother, who's the colonel in the Air Force, he said, we are driving over there to pick you up. So I said, pick me up? He said, yeah, President Trump granted your clemency on your innocence. I just raised my hand and I just started crying. 29 years. I just kept saying 29 years, 29 years. It was surreal. I couldn't believe it. 29 years, it's not 29 months, 29 days, you know, 29 weeks, it's done with 29 long years, 12 federal penitentiaries, some of the worst ones. And mind you, if you guilty, you know how to deal with it because you've been doing this for long. But when you're innocent and they drop you in an environment where people are dying day and night, now you gotta learn how to live in this. Now survival kicks in. How you gonna survive? You see people getting killed left and right. People getting stabbed up left and right. So I had to decide what I was gonna do to survive this. Either you run with the wolves or you run with the sheep. You see the sheep getting killed. You know. But one thing that God blessed me with, being Panamanian, Caribbean, from New York, all that played a major role. Latino, because whenever I drop in any prison. You Panamanian. Yo, oh shit, yo, look, the Rasta community there. And the first thing they equate the Rasta community because all Panamanians that came through, they gravitate towards the Rasta community. So then when they come in, say, yo, where you near Panama? He said, where from? Brooklyn. He said, yo, we have a band room, you know. I said, so, you know, he said, you think we don't know you? You don't need Gringo. So I'm like, so from Brooklyn to one, you have a song since an BabyQuake. That opened a door. That opened a door. The door that opens is now, you come in, people seeing. Now what they do, they walk, they track with you. That is a means of certifying, yo, he with us. All hands off, he's with us. I came in at 23 years old. So you could imagine, now I was weighing 147. You know, that was a whole different experience for me. But when Trump granted my clemency, and another thing, my faith, listen to this, JR. On October 16, my birthday, 2020, I had a vision the day before that I was going home. I called my mother, told her, because I never dreamt of going home. I never had a dream that I was going home. And now I had this dream. I called my attorney, Bettina Shine, and I told her, and she said, she's Jewish, so she said something in the Jewish language. And she said, Jaime, just keep the faith. Just keep the faith. We're doing everything we can out here. I packed up all my stuff. I got 3 life sentences plus 85 years. And guys was like, yo, you're Panama. That's what they called me in prison, Panama, because I'm from Panama. Yo, you heard something about Trump gonna let you out? I said, I ain't hear nothing. He said, bro, don't do that, man. Don't pack this stuff up. That dude is crazy, man. I said, man, my faith. I said, what else do I have to do inside here? I did everything under the sun inside here. I accomplished everything. He said, Animal, don't do that, man, because if that man don't let you out, yo, that will crush you. And we don't want to see what could happen if that happens. So I was like, man, you know something? I packed up everything. So now everybody keep passing. Yo, you going home? My faith. I'm going home.
How did you keep your mental health steady?
I found my purpose in prison after the Lucretia Murray case. I started helping, doing organizing with the youth task force out of Atlanta, Georgia, with Angela Brown and Tanisha Foxworth. And I started teaching in the school, started doing law work. I stayed in the school. I said to myself, if I can help one person get their GED and graduate from school, that person going out will have a second chance. That's one less person that will go out there to commit a crime, kill a person, rob a person, do whatever. Because I heard that if you go home and you don't have your GED, that's your certificate of graduation after 12th grade. You know, a lot of the guys be like, yo, they don't hire you. The first thing they ask you, yo, you got the GED? And that's how I kept my mental always in the prison, always in the law library, school teaching. I helped over 1,000 prisoners graduate in 29 years. And that is not easy because you got a lot of gang members, you know, and some classes don't want them because they said they're too unruly. But when they come to my classroom, it's a difference. Everybody, you know, and sometimes I have to tell them, say, yo, bro, stop. Yo, if you're going to be talking in the class, do me a favor, man. We're here to learn. These guys here, so out of respect, the dudes, I pan them on. Boom. And if sometimes you got some individual that don't want to hear, I'll go to the gang leader first. And I'll tell him, I say, yo, you got one of your brothers inside there. Every day want to come talk in the classroom, trying to be nice. He said, which one? I tell him the name. He said, don't worry about it. You ain't gonna hear nothing from him. Next day, that same person will come. They pamphlet. We got a pamphlet. They put them in their place. Because one thing about prison also is about respect. And individuals saw what I was doing. You got gang leaders graduated that had 10 years in but couldn't get their GED, couldn't graduate. They come with me 2-3 months, they get their GED. You know, and math was always the hardest subject for them, then writing. And I helped them strategy. My thing has always been, when I was teaching, was strategy. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, they graduated.
So then, when you get out, right? What were some of the shocking things that you had to adjust to, or you saw, which wasn't in existence in the 90s?
My first thing that blew my mind, I jumped in the car. We driving, and I left out of Williamsburg Medium. It's an FCI, Federal Correctional Institution. It's a medium facility. It took me 18 years to get from penitentiary to penitentiary, 7 penitentiaries, until I finally got to a medium. So I left from Williamsburg Medium. I'm in the car with my brother, his wife, my oldest brother and his wife also. I'm in the back seat, all of a sudden I hear, police up ahead, police up ahead. Listen, I jumped up, but the fucking, excuse my language. So everybody started laughing. That was the GPS. Yo,
Program.
yo, listen, my head literally touched the top. Yo, I heard police up, and I jumped up because, mind you, I know my brother's voice, my 2 brothers' voice, and it was a male voice. Who the hell? When I went in, there was no GPS, there was no way.
A map.
You had to use a map or a finger. Hey, Brenda, hey, you know where North Trent at? Hey, you know where Bluebird Boulevard at? You know, you didn't have that. Then I'm driving with them, and I'm seeing people with slippers. I'm like, yo, they got Crocs on the street. You could not find me ever with slippers outside of my door.
Back in the day.
In prison. At all. And now I'm seeing.
Why is that?
Because anything can happen. And you want to always be ready for whatever. And nobody in other units want to hear, yo, it happened so fast. Because they're telling you, yo, you gotta go. You gotta go. You mean this happened to one of the homies, and you talk about you was in slippers? Nah, you gotta go. You know, so back in the days, on the street, you ain't see nobody with no slippers, no Crocs. I don't care. People in the street, they got sneakers, boots. They had the travel fox. They had the wallabies. I mean, I'm coming home now. People with slippers. That blew my mind. Then my mother came to see me at Disney World. In prison, you have the goon squad. When the alarm goes off that there's a fight or anything, they come running. You hear the running and you hear the keys. I'm in Disney World. We walk into a store, they buying, you know, different type of souvenirs with my mother. Some kids were running, and guess what I did? In my head, I put my back against the wall and I would post up, ready for war. My brother said, hey, hey. And I'm dead ass serious. I said, yo, slow down. Yo, what? I said, yo, what? Then I look at the kids. I said, nah, I heard. He said, just kids, man, just kids. I told my brother, I said, I could be around 500, 1,000 convicts in prison. And I'm good. I'm not nervous, I'm good. I feel safe, I'm ready. I'm around regular people in the public, and I'm nervous as hell. I'm out, it's like a fish out of water. I'm nervous, dead ass serious.
Did you feel nervous at the party today?
I was a bit, you know, if I'm moving and I'm looking and I'm like, I'm really, you know, this is. So when you saw that I started walking, it's like I'm trying to loosen up. I'm in my mind, I want to loosen up. That's what I'm actually doing.
Because you're like militant in survival mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see? And I'm looking at the people and they don't look like they pose any threat. But in my mind, this word. But in my mind, I'm still like, yo, don't lose what kept you alive all your life. But I'm trying to like...
Which is what, vigilance?
Be vigilant. Yes, be vigilant. Because when I used to keep BabyQuake dance, earthquake dance, you always have to be vigilant because anything can happen. And then being so young with a sound system so big at a young age, that was in Brooklyn. You know, in '87, BabyQuake was worth over $250,000. In '92, when I got locked up, was worth over $500,000. You see, I had AST come to do the value that went through in my warehouse. And they was like, whoa. You know, people used to come and just look at the sound system. So I used to watch Flyer from Earthquake. And he always was vigilant. And he always told me, say, listen, because I nearly lost my life twice. He said, never try to stop a fight in your show. Never. Because it can be staged. I tried one day to stop a fight, but it was staged. They tried to take my sound system. And something told me, move your head. I moved my head and boy! And Earthquake, they activated immediately. Gunshots start pelting all over the place. And
Earthquake was a crew?
Yeah, Earthquake posse. Yeah. Right now, Earthquake, King Earthquake, High Power International, they in so many different countries, states, in DC, New York, Fort Lauderdale, Bahamas, up in Guyana, because the owner's from Guyana. And they have Bulletproof also, but it's part of Earthquake. You know, so these things that's what actually like built me for when I went in there. But when I come home, it's like PTSD. You know, my brother told me, he said, my brother said, you take a soldier. My brother, the one that was the IG for the Department of Defense, he said, we train soldiers. They go to war 1 year. They come back with PTSD. You went in for 29 years. What you expect? 29. I had so much situations inside there. It wasn't easy, you know.
You did therapy?
I just met a lady. Yesterday I went to the inauguration of BS Blessings. It's a beauty parlor that opened up at Orlando Fashion Square. And she wanted me to give my testimony. I gave my testimony and I broke down while I was giving my testimony because I'm still working. I'm still working, trying to get over the trauma. And I never did therapy. But I know deep down inside, mental health is serious. And I don't take it. So when the lady it's a Dr. Baptiste, she was speaking and she was talking about mental health. I was like, that shit is dead serious. I know I got that. And I tell people, I'm not 100%. I'm learning how to cope now. My wife, Monique, she helps me to cope with it. A lot of times she can tell when certain things and hey, Jaime, this, that, man. You see, and for instance, I always travel with her. I always travel with her. So one day I say, I'm going to Brooklyn by myself. Say, you sure? I said, yeah, man, you act like I could do this. I'm gonna get the hotel and everything. I went to New York. It's a flop. The hotel that I was thinking in Brooklyn, all of them is homeless shelter for immigrants. I'm like, yo, so Milo picked me up. So Milo said, yo, Gringo, so I thought you didn't get, I said, no, I seen all these hotels the time when I came. So I'm thinking, man, listen, all of them is, yo, for the immigrant, for homeless people. And I said, holy shit. I had to go and stay by my mother's house. My mother said, well, why didn't you come here for the beginning? I wanted to do this on my own. You see, I wanted to be independent. Fucked up, messed up. So now I'm learning. So my wife basically little by little teaching me how to do a lot of things. You see, because it's not easy. People tell me, like, when I went in, when I was out there, I never had a credit card. Back then, people didn't really have bank account. Money in the warehouse, under the bed, all of that. Come out, my brother give me a credit card. I said, what's this? I said, a credit card. I don't even want to use it because I don't know how to use it. I'm like, yo. He said, man, listen, man, he had to literally show me how to use a credit card. Yo, sometimes I used to feel so bad. Then his wife said to my brother, why is your brother that big bed, but he's sleeping on the edge of the bed? I used to sleep on the edge of the bed. And my brother said, I ain't sleep in the middle of the bed. I'm alright. But that's the prison because the bed is so small. The bed is the size of right here. So I'm accustomed to just being right there. Then another thing that my wife noticed, I will have all type of things on the left side of the bed and I'll be sleeping on the right because I used to put books, law books and paperwork right next to me. So now I got it on the bed. I got books, I got law work, and so she's saying, what is you doing? She said, but she realized that's part of the trauma from being in there. So I've been working constantly to try to, even this interview, driving with the camera, like I was telling Israel, before, if it was a different cameraman, I couldn't do this. I have to really feel comfortable to do this. Because my guard is always up because you got fake managers always coming, fake people always saying, yo, we want to do this with you, we want to do that with you. But everybody just looking at, yo, Gringo Man. They're looking at you like a piggy bank. They ain't bringing nothing to the table, but then they want me to reach out to all these different people. So now I got rid of everybody. Now my wife, she's my manager, and I'm building my whole team together little by little. You see, people that I can trust, and now I got rid of everybody. Now I'm starting from zero now. You see, with new songs, new beat, new flow, everything new.
Yeah. So, in terms of music, right? What has been your contribution to music, you would say? From then and then to right now.
Okay. I'm going to give you an example. 1998. Most importantly, in prison you don't really know nothing what's going on in society. The only radio station that you hear is country music and things like that. And Puerto Ricans, when they find out, hey, this is Gringo, they're the ones that have been keeping me updated with everything happening in society. And they got me to meet Richie Cruz. That's the owner for the magazine In the House magazine. And In the House magazine got me an interview in 1998 with one of Puerto Rico's top radio stations, with El Coyote, Reggaeton station. JR, when they put me on, you know, like on hold, they're doing the commercial, I'm listening to Trailer Load beat. I'm like, yo, that's my beat. That's a Trailer Load beat. I recorded that 7 years ago. But it's not the song, it's the beat. So the guy came in and the beat is in the background. And I said to him, I said, yo, that's my beat right there. He said, yes, that's the base of the reggaeton movement now out here in Puerto Rico. Yo, my eyes just opened up like, wow. So then when I'm listening to the fusions with merengue house, with the salsa, with the hip hop that they doing, I'm saying, yo, that's the fusion. It's in my CD. So I realized CNN went to Puerto Rico and took my CD, and now everybody over there is using that as the basis of the reggaeton movement. And you know, so who don't know it, they say like a baby. The baby may not know that's his father, but the blood calls. And I said, that's my music. And I realized that everything that they were using, I said, yo, they're using the same two beats. The Trailer Load beat, and they had this here El Gran Tito. I helped him co-write that song. That's the Dirtsman song in Spanish. So I realized, I said, yo, so they taken everything, the two main beats, and now they have used this and kept this like a salsa merengue. You see, salsa and merengue got the same beat.
This is tied to the lawsuit.
That's tied to the lawsuit. And that is the same pattern with salsa, merengue, reggaeton, two beats. And the two beats connected back to me. You see, and I'm like, wow.
You produced the song too?
Huh?
You produced the song?
Yes. You see, I didn't directly, but I had a lot of say so. Mr. Do, he's my producer for the CD. Then Rowan Barrett, Carlton Rowan Barrett from Superpower, he did Trailer Load of Girls. Then I did for John Jalas, I did Dancehall Rock in Spanish.
John Jalas was a street guy too.
Yeah.
Shaggy told me about him.
Yeah. He called Miss Adu and tell him, say, yo, we want to look at artists do dancehall rock in Spanish, you know. And he came to my house. We was and Tito and I wrote the song right there, and then we went straight to ACNF studio. And to my surprise, we were recorded on the same reel-to-reel with Barrington Levy and Cutty Ranks. I'm listening. You see, this is something big that people don't realize. Because a lot of Panamanians, a lot of Latino in Puerto Rico, they keep saying, oh, they bite, those are biter, they bite from the Jamaicans. No, we didn't bite from the Jamaicans. You see, when they heard me do professional in Spanish, profesional, yo soy profesional, todo el mundo, profesional, yo soy profesional, si yo canto mis canciones internacional, yo no cojo, fumo, tomo, yo soy natural, yo no imito a nadie, yo soy original, yo no como preservativo, ni nada artificial, mi país es famoso por el Panama Canal. People used to say, well, I mean, no way I say no, but them song good enough. Then Screecher Dan, James Bond, and Culture Poppy. You say, I am it.
You have a unique vocal tone too.
Yeah. They said, yo, you say you have the people know, you know. They don't know where I said, but you see, but I get that from being with Screecher Dan, Culture Poppy, James Bond. You see that energy, James Bond, earthquake no Kira Ross, boy. Boom. And they show me, say, yo, do it this way, do it this way. Boom. And then when you practice the culture back in the days, before I go to compete with the next sound system clash. We practicing. That part is lost today. People, everybody have a studio. So now that helped me a lot. Because now I'm like, yo, this is, you know, I'm gonna improve my craft. So now when they tell me to do it in English, professional, I am professional in English. Professional, I am professional. Yes, me DJ, all me lyrics international. Me no sniff, drink, smoke, I am original. Me no eat preservatives, no nothing artificial. For me country, it famous for the Panama Canal. Now mind you, I'm using for my country, it's famous for the Panama Canal. People know, the crowd know. Not just you know, a soundsman knows say I'm a Panamanian. The crowd knows, say, yo, that you that Panamanian. Yo, Clark. Yo, I got him at it. So now the producer said, Star, if we get the little youth here to record the hit song them in a Spanish, we can eat in a 2 market. So a lot of producers, yo, you can do this song. I didn't want to record. My thing is the movement on the street. That's my thing. BabyQuake, earthquake, the street. You know, you keep a black party. Boom, BabyQuake, the song with the most beautiful girl. BabyQuake, the moving studio. You see? So now they couldn't get me. So now they're looking for other artists. Now, El General, before he even recorded, he came to the US. He wanted to practice on the sound system with a Panamanian that's competing with the Jamaicans in the heart of the dancehall. That's where I met him at my studio, practicing. Then when the producer, where Shaggy was talking about Michael Ellis, that's his name, the one that he said more organized, he's like my cousin. Him is the first and the only Panamanian who invested 7 digits into the Panamanian culture. Him tell me, say, Amy, listen, I'm going to invest this money into the black ethnic culture of the Republic of Panama. Not for El General, not for me, for the whole culture. You see, he was pushing the whole movement. He went and got other Spanish people to contribute with influence. When he went to Puerto Rico, before he passed away, he said, if you do an interview, always mention, when they ask you who opened the door for El General, say Hector Marcano. I'm going to show you in the book. I put a trip. Hector Marcano. He was the mogul of all TV, radio, everything. And I met him at Orlando, La Mega Orlando. Mind you, I'm in prison. I don't know none of these people. But he gave me the name. He said, this is what I want you to do. So when I found out, my mother told me that he passed away. He said, Mike, he passed away. He's also my nephew, godfather. We grew up on the same block. I said, wow. So now I realized he gave me a dying wish. I put in my book, Visionary, The Rise and Fall of the Reggaeton Man. Fame comes with a steep price. I put a tribute to Michael Ellis, Mikey, and also Hector Marcano, because that was his wish. You see, and that's the connection that nobody talks about. You see, every time Mikey will go to Puerto Rico, when he come back, he come call me. Yeah, oh shit, yeah. He will tell me.
Make a U-turn. Keep on make a U-turn.
You know, he would tell me, say, yo, like for instance, peep this, all the word reggaeton come into existence. 1991, Church Avenue street scene. Everybody from Brooklyn, Flatbush know this. They had from Church and 32nd all the way to Kings Highway. They had sound systems lined up in every street. They had sound system lined up in every street. Now, BabyQuake was playing on like 34th, 35th, Lucky's shop. And now, I kept seeing a white limousine keep going in circles. Yeah. And I said, you know something? I told Kat, I said, yo, keep an eye on that limousine. Well, in that limousine was Tresh from Naughty by Nature. Before he got famous, he had the song OPP. So he asked Slick Finger, Nicholas, Super Slick from Rebel Next Level. He asked him to do that song. So Slick asked me for permission, and I told him, okay. Now peep this. He did the song. He said, you down with OPP? Everybody said, yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Yo, him get gun salute. The boy not put down the mic, he not get scared. I said, oh shit. That was the most requested tape. More from BabyQuake. That show. Michael Ellis called me and said, hey man, I need you to come. I need to talk to you. I said, out there was black, white, Latino, Caribbean, American, everybody, different nationalities. Say, yo, you see, this is not no more Reggae in Spanish. Because now, it went over. I heard what happened yesterday. He said, now this is a big reggae. We're going to call it the Reggaeton. Just like in Panama, you have a big head, cabeza, cabezón. You have a big car, carro, carrón. You have a big dog, perro, perrón. This is a big reggae, reggaeton. The unification of all the cultures, nationalities, genres.
So tongue means big?
Big. Tongue means big.
Really?
Yes, tongue means
so it's
big.
Big reggae.
Big reggae. That's where it came from. And a lot of people.
I never knew that.
Yes. You see, that's, the education, when people it's uneducated, even in writing and reading, they don't really know where the tongue comes from. You see, so like Shaggy was saying, reggaeton, that's because when the Caribbean say it, that's how they hear it. Tone, reggaeton, but it's reggaeton. You see, but the Caribbean, when they're gonna say it, look at that reggaeton. You see, but it's reggaeton. You see, and I tell individual, I said reggaeton comes from the roots and the advocation of great legends like Bob Marley, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, who advocated for the same thing: peace, love, unity, equal rights, and justice for all. What we were in the dance hall, in the heart of the dance hall fight, free Mandela, you're free Mandela. If you don't live in the heart of the dance hall, you don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing about this. I grew up in Brooklyn, inside there. You see, so when you know the history, that's why I went to Puerto Rico. Because you have to go to Puerto Rico, it's like a trampoline. You see, boom, if you're good, you go worldwide. Now Colombia is becoming the new Puerto Rico with the dancehall. You see, Colombia now, they have an artist out there named Something Fire. He sound like Japanese, may he rest in peace. You got the rough vice, and he play with it in different, boom. So now, this is the part that Panama is missing. You see, Panama is doing some things that is not commercial globally. So they stay, and then they don't have a Michael Ellis to put money behind the movement, the culture. You see, but me now, being from New York and knowing exactly how this was put together, you see, because it's my movement. You see, they keep trying to, Renato, with all due respect, he's the first to record, El General did this, Nando Boom did a song. They came to the United States, to Brooklyn. The movement was already there. It's like the Indians. Christopher Columbus discovered America. No, the Indians was already there. You see? So because I didn't want to record, when they came, they didn't have to compete. You as a Jamaican, you already know this. You ain't gonna invest no money if you don't know that there's a market for that, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. You see, so when they went to Rowan, you see, Rowan asked his father. His father don't really know, but Rowan know. So Rowan sent them to VP Records, to Carl Miller. And Carl recorded, produced the song, but who really produced the song? Sting International. El General, 2 first songs. Sting International is also one of my producers. You see, and we grew up together. You see, these are the parts that people don't know. Who recorded Girls You Look, Sting International. The same beat that Gasolina. gasolina in Puerto Rico, when you hear about gal and gales, come from my song, Trae Lleno de Gales. Gales, gales de todos lados. They took a piece from this, a piece from that, a piece. So I already know, I said, yo, this came from my creation. So when I went to Puerto Rico, they put me, we singing Yandel in their concert, La Última Misión, the last mission. Both of them they were going to separate and do things, but they did something incredible. 14 days back to back at the Coliseum like this. 14, Monday, Tuesday went, and it's like this. I said, God damn, 14 days and they introduced me to Wisin and Yandel, and they said, yo, he said, Gringo, we grew up on your song.
You said like this, you mean it was packed?
Like packed over the capacity every day. And he said, you're going to be here tomorrow? So that was December 17, 2022. I said, yeah. He told Gringo from Baby Rasta and Gringo, he said, yo, bring him tomorrow so he can blow. So they were like, all right. But they were like, yo, we don't want you to be on stage. We're going to introduce you, but we don't want you to perform and then you don't sound good or something and we mess up your legacy. I said, listen, I was hoarse. I said, don't worry about that. I know how to play with my voice. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this. Don't worry about that. I said, 29 years in a cell like this, and you think I'm gonna be like, no. You could see on stage Baby Rasta and Gringo like this, shocked. But that's the heart of the dancehall. That's not performing on stage. This is what happens in the heart of the dancehall. When I tell people the heart of the dancehall, that's a statement. You come out of there, boom. When you see Shaggy perform, that's the heart of the dancehall. That's not an artist that just jump on a Coliseum or, no. That's an artist that came from grassroots. When you see him perform, you see, and everybody was like, and I literally seen when I was Gales de todos, the people like, oh shit, and I see them like, and they start dancing. I said, oh shit, ¿dónde lo conseguiste, mami? ¿Dónde lo conseguiste? People like, oh shit, that's yo. Tengo la rama, rama. Yo. Then when they told them my story, people were like, the people was going crazy. The reporter, Marta Vanessa Concepcion from Panama, when she saw that, she said, Gringo, you see, it's not the music, it's your story, your faith. Look at the reaction of the public. And this lady usually write me like 2-3 lines, and she wrote my whole paragraph. So it drew my attention when I seen that she wrote. I said, oh, holy shit. Then guess what? Panama was not covering it. My own country. The public in Panama started rebelling. Yo, you mean to tell me none of these pages in Panama want to cover Gringo Man after he's the first person that Puerto Rico ever recognized as the seed, the founder of reggaeton? They don't. And you know what they told me in Puerto Rico? They said, Baby Rasta and Gringo, and a lot of other producers, they said, listen, we have never done that with a Panamanian. Never recognized El General, Nando Boom been here various times. But we know our story. We know where we get everything from you. He said, back in the early 90s, you were like the Bad Bunny back then. I said, why you say that? He said, because all your songs were not 1, 2, 3, all your songs were all over Puerto Rico. How I realized they were not lying to me, I went to do a Urba Live, DJ Urba Live. That's one of Daddy Yankee's producers. And when I finished doing all the songs that I taught, he said, Master, you can't leave. I said, well, what happened? He said, you got to do my favorite song. Which is that one? Tell me which song is this? Me gusta mi carro, me gusta mi casa, pero yo amo mi dinero. Pero lo más prefiero mi morena. Me gusta mi carro, me gusta mi casa, pero yo amo mi dinero. Pero lo más prefiero mi morena. Yesenia y Giselle, Amada y Michelle, que las cuatro de ellas están pensando. Puto. Which song is that? Browning.
Browning, me love me car, me
Love me bike, me love me money and thing. And I recorded that song Penthouse Studio. Me have the picture with me in Jamaica with Mr. Do. Buju Banton was downstairs, and it was, I think Dave Kelly was the one, the engineer. Dave Kelly or Tony Kelly, one of the two brothers. They were working on the keys. But one of the things that shocked me, because I told Dude I got to record in Jamaica. He said, man, I'll take it. I got to go to Jamaica. In New York, you got they use the keys and the piano and this and that. When I went over there, they used real life band. So I'm standing up like, wait, DJ, go on DJ, man. I'm waiting for the music. No, man, go on DJ. So Dude said, yo, do the tune. Me gusta mi carro, me gusta mi casa, pero yo amo mi dinero. Pero lo más prefiero mi morena, me gusta mi... And then me hear one instrument, the next instrument, the next instrument. Then the wall. I said, oh God. And Dude start laugh. You see, Gringo? You see, that's why I bring you down here, so you can see our record at Jamaica. Different from New York. I was like, wow. Then Dude take me to Tropics and Stone Love that I play over there. And he say, yo, I'll get to fit the trailer load. So either Rory or the other one say, yo, we have the man we do trailer load in Spanish. When I want to hear him, to my surprise, they say, yo. When we do, Gales, de todos lados, de Panama. Mash up the place. Mr. Do said, you're certified. You hear what me I said, Father? He said, Jamaica. Gringo, you hear what me I tell you? Just like this, he said, Jamaica certify you. I want to tell you that. Nobody can. This CD where we just record, remember me I tell you, nobody record none of this. Everything brand new. True indeed. Me left Jamaica, come to New York, 9 days later, me get arrested.
Wow.
9 days later, me get arrested.
Just when you're about the...
Yo, me record with Masters at Work, Kenny Dope Gonzalez and Little Louie Little Louie.
And you never got bail, so you never got out after that day.
JNN was gonna put $1 million bond for me. My father said, you see that? The music where you have, them really want you because them need to promote it. You see, them willing to put $1 million. Come visit me. Me talk to him, he said, me talk to one. He said, man, willing to put $1 million. You see, when me listen to the tune them where you do, he said, you know, say me's a man, because my father had a little caravan and big sound system in there with all them jewelry. People think say I'm a drug dealer, but a hard working man. But from Panama, I saw him dress. He said, you see, that CD where you have, I go places. Nobody not have music like that. Nobody. My father said, yo, everybody may I hear I talk about the music. Them say, yo, that little you the advance. But why? Dancehall in the heart of the dance song, that's like AAA league. So when you go to a different culture, different genre, Spanish, that's like not even B league, that's like C league. See where I come from. So we advance because we are mixed. BabyQuake are mix and scratch. Yo, we are do everything because we have Yankee in our crew, we have name it, Spanish, we have everything, Caribbean, everybody.
How
mixed.
big was BabyQuake? Who founded BabyQuake?
BabyQuake me.
You found a BabyQuake?
Yeah, BabyQuake my sound system.
So that was one of the reasons why you got caught up, because they say you're the organizer.
That's right, the organizer. You see, and BabyQuake wasn't just any little small sound system. People used to just come to BabyQuake for see the sound system. I said, Lord God, that you have a big sound system. But when you listen to the artists, them James Bond, Screechy Dan, Night Rider, Gil Bailey, you hear them say earthquake. You see, even on dub plate, you hear them say earthquake, and we don't feel no way because we are one. You see, we are one. BabyQuake and earthquake.
Yeah. Let's go inside.
Yeah.
What a story.
La rama llama, la cosa de hoy en día se llama la rama llama, las gales de hoy en día quieren la rama llama, no quieren un palito para darle cosquilla, lo quieren largo y duro como una manguera, o grueso y recto como una bazooka. Te llama rey si no eres suave en la cama, si tienes la rama te llaman Casanova, si tienes la rama tú estás en la onda, dile a tu mamá, tu tía y tu hermana, dile que mía que tiene la rama llama.
So we're here World Music Views with none other than Gringo Man at Looms Bistro and Lounge in Pembroke Pines. What going, Gringo?
There, respect 4814. Aye!
Panamanian man in a Jamaican restaurant. You know it.
Miami,
We're talking music and we're eating some good food. Gringo, you're back on the scene. You have some tune on me just here a while ago. Like how you maintain your flow for all these years?
I always practice one thing. You see, when you learn from grassroots in Brooklyn, you see, we grew up, I stamp your feet on the ground and you're a DJ. So even if they take you out of that environment, your mental memory, it maintains that. So when I came back, Omar Pacheco, the youth that usually used to do my song, because JNN Records got fee manager. Look where JNN Records got this individual through one of them affiliates in Panama to get this man, force him to do my song then, so they can promote the song. So him was named Gringo Man while I was in jail. You see, know him become like my little brother. You see, I'm gonna forgive him and everything because other DJs say, yo,
forgive him for taking him.
Because him never do it because him want to do it. I force him, and if you know Panama State, when a manager force you, you see, if you not do it, you can disappear tomorrow. So he did have to do it because JNN, they want to promote the CD. You see, but no. One day when we come out, we do a EP, but then in call me one day and say, yo, I listen to where you tune and where you do since you come out. Me analyze your whole CD, Mr. Do produce. You're always up there. Trailer load, y'all, don't look and say it tiny white, everything up. Think la rama. No, you come out, you there. La rama jama, la cosa. You're not a nigga now. He said, that's not you. He said, yo, I'm going to do some beats. And I'm going to write something to the beat. Your return. We're going to change your flow. Actualize you. He said, just leave it to me. So then call him Omar Pacheco, the producer. I know him named OAPB, the Black Beast, and the boy Wiki.
How you feel about where reggaeton is now in terms of where the genre, Spanish music, Latin music in general, has taken it, this fast growing genre in the world? How do you feel about that movement?
You know, because I know the history and where it came from, I'm proud. It's like a baby. You see, you go to jail, they took you out of the scene. Puerto Rico adopt the baby. No, nobody knows that you're a son in us. But you look, the boy, them raise them invest money in a college. Look on the little baby now. You see? But when I went to Puerto Rico, I got to Puerto Rico. Benny La Jodienda and do a podcast and he said, yo, in the puñeta, he said like, God damn it, I want to know where the beginning. You see, reggaeton didn't start here, so I want to know where it starts from because none of the producers, nothing, you know, we took it over, but where it starts from. a Puerto Rican when they there with me in prison. And called me through Instagram and said, Gringo, yo, Benny want to know where it starts. I want to get your number. Send him number. Half an hour later, I call him and say, hey, good evening. He said, yo, who this? He said, Gringo Man. You can see the pause. Which Gringo Man? He said, which? Because you have one up on Panama and the one with that day at jail. I said, the one that was in jail.
Snapper, steamed and bounce. Food is ready.
Food is ready.
Snapper and bounce food. Steamed down.
Steam down. I might name that.
Escovitch, no rice. Escovitch, no rice. Side of white rice? Nah, that's with him. That's you on the steak. Side of rice and beans? Vegetables, yeah. Side of rice and beans? Nice.
Yeah, so peep this now. Him say, yo, somebody will call you in 5 minutes. Me there do a podcast right now and you're happy, yo, 5 minutes. So the same Omar Pacheco Gringo Man talk to a youth named Emil Connection. Emil Connection call him and say, yo, Gringo Man just called. The same you in no Emil Connection and him did it. So Gringo Man, Omar Pacheco tell him, yo, deal with him. You tell him, deal with him. You see? Boom. So they tell me, they invite me to Puerto Rico. I'm going to end up and go over there to Puerto Rico. We do a podcast with Benny. And through everybody a big kind of fight about reggaeton. We come up with this, Mr. Reggaeton, Mr. in a personification, in a writing and reading. You have say reggaeton is a little you. The mother, Panamanian. The father, Jamaican. Whoa. She get pregnant at New York. She get pregnant at New York.
It's an immigrant baby.
Yeah, you see. So now, the baby end up, she get pregnant at New York now. Them name the baby Reggaeton before it come out. Then go to Puerto Rico, the baby born. The baby named Reggaeton. See? So now, Puerto Rico invest money in a reggaeton career studies. We start grow up. No bad money, uncle, take reggaeton to a whole different level. So all people feel, at least they never abandon baby out there. So when you hear people talk about reggaeton, it's not from Panama, that's Puerto Rico. No. The wickedest thing nobody never tell you about, Screech it down. Go Puerto Rico. Guess who opened up for him? Daddy Yankee.
What year that?
In the 1993, 94, 95, and go over there. So. Who take them? We call him the connector, John Gungi Rivera, to The Noise. That's one of the DJ Negro club. That's where everybody go DJ over there. So. Raven, with DJ with Shaggy, sing with Shaggy, him go Puerto Rico. When me Mr. Easy, go Puerto Rico also. Who call you also? Dingo San, him go Puerto Rico. See, Ocho Pang, they get the next youth a Puerto Rico named Ocho Pang. After they start getting. So I tell people, say, when reggaeton reach over there, so, what them do, it evolves. If you have a movement and a jam and you don't evolve, that's something you do wrong. But you can't say, we create reggaeton because you put this and that. You can't say that. Because all the fusions was already there. That's why I say, in one of my songs, first hip hop and dancehall, Gringo and Magic One. First dancehall and hip hop. You see, Magic One from a big group, Proyecto Uno. You see? So, merengue and dancehall. Menea para arriba, menea para abajo, que suelte la casa de tu mamá. Oh, ya se la mano, te ves bien. That's Gringo Man. Merengue house with dancehall, never heard it before. And Mr. Do, Dennis the Menace, Orlando Lee. Panamanian, Jamaican, and Dennis the Menace, another Jamaican. Do that fusion. Enough people. Right now today, a pure classic. They're in a my series. Pure classic. In a my series. people, when they hear it, they say, yo, Gringo Man. They say, yo, you have a flow different from everybody. Invite is unique. Why? Grew up in the heart of the dance. It's not just as an artist, the architect around the whole music. In Panama, they always try to say, who is the first person who record? Who heard? When they ask, who is the founder for hip hop? Who heard? Who heard at Jamaica? He never record a song. He played the song, and that neither the architect around the movement. That's why when you first interview Shaggy, Shaggy said, oh, hold on, Gringo, El Gringo did half of the place. The movement, the BabyQuake was a movement. You see, with Jamaican, American, Latino, all away. You see, all the money go Puerto Rico. So when them say, when they said the reggae from Jamaica, he said no, the reggae is from Jamaica, but the Jamaicans that went over there was from New York. Which movement? BabyQuake movement. Raven used to DJ from BabyQuake. Raven, you see, speech to that, BabyQuake. We come from Earthquake, one of my teachers. The whole of them reach up Puerto Rico. You have El Maleante, and next, the whole of them reach over there, so John Boogie Rivera.
Yeah.
You see? So now,
I love the theory where you say the Puerto Rican got the immigrant baby. The father of him is a Jamaican, the mother is a Panamanian. When we cut this up, World Music Views, watch the full interview on World Music Views YouTube. J.R. Watkins here with none other than
Gringo Man. Aye!
WorldMusicViews.com, World Music Views YouTube.
JR, may I forgive World Music View, Visionary, the rise and fall of the reggaeton man. Fame comes with a steep price, part 1. You see? Gringo Man.
Extensive read.
BabyQuake, this is a little part, right? 32-inch mixing board. This is 1987, my little son. You see? The birth of reggaeton, Panama flag, Jamaica flag. So, we want freedom for Panama's son. We want freedom. Queremos libertad para libre Panama. You see this? We have to autograph this and give to JR, World Music Views.
Wow.
Look on this. I want to show you something. Me love this one in the Ecclesiastes 4:13-14. Better poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who will be admonished no more. For he comes out of what? Prison to be king, although he was born poor in his kingdom. First time I read it, I say I love it.
When did you release this book?
2019, July 19.
Just before you come out.
Yeah.
Did you knew you were coming out?
I knew I was gonna come. My faith. I knew I was gonna come out one day. I just didn't know which day. But I always had faith that I was gonna come out. Always.
Views with an S. Wow,
yes.
Thank you, my bro.
The whole history of the reggaeton movement right here, sir. The whole history right here, sir. And also, the 29 years when we do the evidence inside here, so who killed the police, who destroyed the evidence, to send me. Then they want me to infiltrate the music industry. The reggae, hip hop, and Spanish, and I refuse. 29 years, I have to do. Nobody can tell you nothing. It's all in there. Documents, everything. And me write it, edit it, do everything. Because I don't want to make sure, say, nothing, transcript, everything.
Well written too. Well,
5 stars in Amazon.
Wow. You should do an audio version.
Yeah, I am going to do an audio version.
This is a story by itself.
And the main reason why I wrote the book, because I said the judge, prosecutor, them all tried to kill the story. So I said, if I never get out, at least it's written.
So you're an author,
educator, paralegal, and there was a jailhouse lawyer. You see, by being a jailhouse lawyer, I was able to put that together. You see all the documents, everything in there.
Please fasten passenger seatbelt.
We have your car making its cameo consistently. That and your GPS.
put the lawsuit in there though.
Yeah, you see, because I didn't know when I was
you were thinking of the lawsuit for what?
For what? When I was in there, I was just compiling evidence because, like what you asked me, you know, when did I know?
Jamaican Sala friend.
When did I know that what they were using, it was out of my creation? From the beginning that I heard it, they said blood calls, in personification of reggaeton is a little youth. I said, yo, that's my baby right there, sir. So I kept documenting everything. They even have Donde lo conseguiste, that's one of my classics, the title of my CD. One day I had called my record label, JNN Records, and they were talking to somebody in Europe, and they said they was giving them a check for Donde lo conseguiste for a movie. And I asked about it. A couple of days later, I called him back. He didn't know he thought he put the phone on mute, but he didn't. And I heard it. So I'm thinking he won't be honest. He told me, no, your music ain't doing good. All the Puerto Ricans then fight me down. Man, you crazy. Your song, man, yo, they all hits. That's how I found out. That's the same way when we went to Jamaica. Buju didn't know when I went to Jamaica and I recorded Mama, Browning, Lotion. Buju didn't know that his song was a hit in the US. And when Mr. Adu introduced us, I tell him, I say, yo, Buju, your tune them, I get rinsed in New York, you know. He say, I lie. He say, that tune, that get rinsed over there, sir. And run upstairs, the penthouse studio. When they come and say, yeah, them tell me, say, yeah, it get rinsed over there, sir. He didn't know.
So, reggae, dancehall, reggaeton. These three genres come from the third world.
That's right.
And they make a lot of money for a lot of people.
That's right.
Have you been on top of the music business?
I've started now. Now that I'm finally free on everything, now I'm on top of it now. Because before I really couldn't, you couldn't focus because I was facing, to go back again 10, 20 years for something I didn't do again. So it's like, you can't focus, People say, oh, you did 29 years, so you're supposed to, no. Just to think that they can take your freedom all over again for 10, 20 years.
That was for another case?
Yes, I married a Panamanian girl. Then I found out that she was living a double life. So I was leaving. And she had a camera in the house and she heard me talking to my brother. And he sent me things to get the divorce. And when she got the code for my phone, she went in and she seen that I got an apartment and everything, and I was leaving. And I wasn't saying nothing. She kicked me out the house, called the police, and told her that I strangled her. You know, when the police came, she gave them the wrong number. I found out that after. She gave them the wrong number. That way, I could never tell them the truth. So I got arrested, and I went through a whole situation. I ended up going to trial. You know, I beat the 2 charges, battery and strangulation. I beat both, but the prosecutor gave me a second battery. And that's why the federal judge, you know, God, I want to tell you something. God was in that courtroom. That judge, everybody fears that judge, Carlos E. Mendoza. And God used that judge to advocate for me. That judge don't like domestic violence. That judge said, no, I need to know the truth. When they wanted to give me, the prosecutor wanted to give two more years, supervised release. The probation wanted 6 months, but ultimately he could give me 10 or 20, you see, because he could compile all the supervised release into one and give me outside the guidelines because of, you know, a serious case. But he asked me what I prayed for. He asked me the same. He said, I need to know the truth. What happened on that day? And I was able to tell my truth. The prosecutor kept their mouth shut. The probation officer kept their mouth shut. And I said, I called the probation officer. I told him I need to leave the house because I fear that she's going to do something crazy. And they sent me back into the same situation. He said, stop. He said, look at the probation. He said, hey, did he call y'all? He said, yes. He said, recess. Came back. He said, took everything away. And he said, sentenced to time served. You're no longer restricted to anything with the courts, probation, nothing. You're free to go. Just like that. Finally, that's how I was able to come to Miami. If not, I won't be able to come to Miami. I gotta
recently?
Yeah, it's recently, March 18th. I got my full freedom. God was in that courtroom recently. So now, that's how, and look at this. Right after that, all the doors started opening up. Your interview with Shaggy came up, and that created pandemonium all over Latin America, all over the globe. Everybody talking about. Now everything is about reggaeton. You see, then they have the reggaeton came from Daddy Asha. Oh, the reggaeton. The man said reggaeton, and them say reggaeton. They just trying to take away where it really came from, and they're using anything to try to hold on to that, you know. But here we are, World Music Views.
What's in this book, The Visionary, The Rise and Fall of the Reggaeton Man? And this should now be the rise and fall and the rise again.
That's why that's part 1. You see, that's why it's only part 1.
So there's a part 2?
Yes, part 2, soon to be released. Soon to be released.
What's in this book?
In that book right there, you know, that I was facing the death penalty. I ended up with a death penalty eligible case with 3 life sentences plus 85 years. I did 29 years of my life. And the murder of Syracuse police officer Wally Howard Jr., that they charged me first degree murder, intentional murder, it's in there. The truth is in there. Who killed him? The evidence, it was friendly fire, but they didn't want to say friendly fire because he was investigating dirty cops. So what they did, they killed him. And a co-defendant, Gary Stewart, one of my teachers, he has a bullet in his back. The bullet in his back is the bullet from a co-defendant that they told to say that he killed the cop. But if you take the bullet out, it will match the bullet from the person that they said killed the officer. But the bullet in the officer when inside here you have the affidavit from the expert, Robert H. Goldberg, and he said it's friendly fire. The bullet came from far distance. That is right here on World Music Views. You're listening to it. Get the book. Don't take it from me. You're going to see the documents right in there. Then Sonia Sotomayor reversed the case for new trial, evidentiary hearing, resentencing hearing. The judge sat on it for 3 years and then said, she 3 judges in the appeals court, they wrong. You know, so all the evidence is in there. And then what I also, the evidence that they were monetizing from my music and I wasn't getting paid is also in here, because I said, if I never make it out alive, because they tried to kill me in numerous prisons, not prisoners, but the cops. They didn't want me to fight my case. They don't do that to an innocent, to a guilty person, because you already got the evidence to show he's never gonna get out. But with me, they had all the evidence to show that I was innocent, and they didn't want that to get out. But finally, World Music Views, and you got the book, everything right here. Go to Amazon. It's a 5-star. Visionary, the rise and fall of the Reggaeton Man. See it right here. Visionary, the rise and fall of the Reggaeton Man. Fame comes with a steep price. Because I was young, I wanted to be famous. But I didn't know to be famous meant the federal government is going to be watching you and wanting you to become one of them, to work for them, to infiltrate the music industry, the hip-hop market, the reggae market, and the Latin market. My refusal cost me 29 years of my life. So it's a message to a lot of the kids. You want to be famous, always think twice. Try to do something and know that you gotta surround yourself with individuals that 100% pure. Because if you know individuals are doing certain things and I'm not doing it, okay, I have a law called conspiracy. I didn't know about that. I was in Brooklyn, New York when all of this was happening. And they put it on me. You know.
Yeah. So, are you planning to go on tour, book tour, or
yes,
music tour, or both?
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm working on that, trying to get an agent that can book the tours for me. I really want to do the Gringo Man and Friends tour, go through the world, because all of my records are classics, and with the new ones, and I want to bring the dancehall reggae artists from the early 90s with the new ones, and tour and teach the cultural movement that was born in Brooklyn, New York, from a Panamanian. That's why a long time people kept saying where reggaeton came from, because I was in jail. You see, do this world tour, make people see. Screechy Dan, Daddy Yankee opened up for him in Puerto Rico in the Club de Noise, DJ Negro Club. That's huge. Nobody knows that. All these Jamaicans that came, Mr. Easy, Raven, you got Panamanian, you got Tingo San, you got Maleante, Pocho Pan. All of these artists, Panamanian artists, went to Puerto Rico and nobody speaks about them. And Daddy Yankee opened for all of them. My artist, El Gran Tito, Daddy Yankee also opened up for him. So how can you say that this movement is not tied and you created this reggaeton because you changed something? Music evolves, but the whole basis came from the Panamanians, from Brooklyn, New York, the producers, Dennis the Menace, Mr. Do, Sting International, all these producers, Carl Miller.
Where's Dennis the Menace now?
Dennis, the last time I spoke to him, he was in Long Island, but now I think he moved to Bahamas. He moved to Bahamas. Yeah. When Dennis the Menace saw me, I called him FaceTime and he said, Gringo, I want to cry. You see, this is the part of the culture that people don't know, how embedded I was in the heart of the dance hall, that when they snatched me up, everybody was like, yo, where Gringo there? Yo, they didn't know all of these other artists. And in the heart of the dance hall, look at Jazzy T from Renaissance. We say, yo, we know Gringo. He say, yo, we used to rinse Gringo music. You see, the heart of the dance hall. No, you can't lie to the street. You see, the heart of the dance hall. I tell people, I said that's why I always speak of the heart of the dance hall. And then push reggaeton, you know. You see, sometimes, you know, as a Panamanian, I feel bad when I hear Nando Bo, you know, and people talk about, yo, this created in Panama. I'm Panamanian. Yes, it's from Panama because of our culture, but you cannot forget the people in Brooklyn, New York that sacrificed, invested money, time, sweat to bring this music on a global scale. So that's why I'm doing this. And I'm also now that I'm finally free, I'm also gonna I had started a campaign. I'm gonna resume the campaign to get the politicians in New York. People, please, I want you to, on World Music Views, I want you to please support the campaign to name Brooklyn, New York, East Flatbush and Flatbush the Mecca of reggaeton, because everything came out of Brooklyn, New York. You see, outer New York, yes.
Not the Bronx.
Not the Bronx, not any, Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush, stand up. You see, we need, and then we want to name 3 streets, 21st and Ditmas, Gringo Man Way, till then between Flatbush and Bedford, Squeezy-Dan and Red Fox Way, on Bedford Avenue, over by Ebbetsfield, we want to name that one Sting International Way. Sting International, the first producer to produce El General Tupum Pum and Te Ves Buena. You see, the world needs to know this is where everything came from. Right here, Brooklyn, New York. BabyQuake, people say what BabyQuake is a culture, it's a cultural foundational sound system.
Making a left?
No.
So you gotta go over here. Because this goes left.
Okay. Yeah.
You gotta go this way.
You see, so it's a cultural movement that BabyQuake, hip hop, dancehall, Spanish music. You see, people need to understand that. You know, and you're hearing it on World Music Views. This is the first time we're talking, and that's why on October 11, 2025, I did an award over close to 50 of the New York legends, and Cutty Rank's manager came and got his award. When he's, look how God work, when he's on stage getting Cutty Rank's award, Cutty Rank's called FaceTime, and him say, Cutty say, you get the award. Boom, right there live. And he's getting an award, his face, on behalf of all Jamaican artists and Jamaica, telling them thanks from the Panamanian community through Gringo Man. Never done before, you know, never done before. Telling them thanks for allowing us to collaborate with them and create this global multi-billion-dollar industry known today as reggaeton. You see, and when you hear individuals say that they took it from the Jamaican artists, no, they didn't. They took it from the Panamanians, and Panamanians were collaborating with the Jamaican artists, the producers. They didn't want the Jamaican. One thing you know, JR, you can go to a Jamaican producer, but you're gonna do an original song, you know. He don't want that. He wants you to do a hit in Spanish. That's how the movement was created.
What do you think about the fish market for them and the Dembo, Shabaranks influence? What do you think of that?
That's the whole reggaeton movement right there. But you see, Dennis the Menace, he got the blessing from Steely and Cleavage to do over that beat on Trailer Load of Girls. Yeah, to do over Trailer Load of Girls. And that beat, Trailer Load of Girls, became the foundational base of the whole reggaeton movement and the hot this year rhythm. That also became the number 2 beat. You see, in the whole reggaeton, those two, you know, and like I tell people, I say, I also have to give thanks and praise to God for the Puerto Ricans, because the government wanted to kill the movement because the movement united cultures. And they saw, the one thing about the government, they can see 10 times far before the regular eyes can tell what's coming. They predict. They say, oh my God, this music right here is uniting people. They wanted to dead that. But Puerto Rico turned around, took it, brush up the baby, invest. I tell, and it wasn't just one person invest 7 digits in Puerto Rico. You know? A lot of people with money, millionaires, invested money in that. That's why I try to tell a lot of times to Panamanians, you cannot get mad at Puerto Rico. You see, Puerto Rico invested the money that no Panamanians is trying to do. And in Panama, you have a lot of millionaires in Panama. Don't get it twisted. Panama is known as the little mini Dubai. Hey! You know, as the little mini Dubai. Panama is known as the Latin America mini Dubai. Enough millionaires in Panama. When you look at the buildings in Panama, they look like Miami in Panama right now.
So why do you think the Panamanian artists aren't as big, seeing that they also sing in Spanish? Is it that artists only get support based on where they come from?
All right.
Big as a reggaeton,
they need to leave, go outside of Panama. They need to go outside of Panama. Do like what I'm doing. You have to sacrifice and invest in yourself. They think you can just stay in Panama and things are gonna drop on your lap. No. You have to leave Panama, sacrifice financially. A lot of them don't want to do that. They don't want to sacrifice financially. They'd rather just stay there. And I say with all due respect, they'd rather stay there and just, you know, get $200, $300, $400 and they're good. Perform in 3-4 different places. And they wonder why they can't go. You see, since I came out, I haven't been performing in a lot of places. I haven't been performing in a lot of places because I know my value. I'm not gonna let you just give me anything and think I'm gonna be jumping up on stage for you. No, I'm a promoter also. So right now I'm organizing to promote a show in Panama, bringing together the New York legends alongside the Panamanian legends. And once and for all unite both cultures and get some of the Jamaican artists from Jamaica to come down there also and unite all as a strong force. Never done before, you know. And I'm gonna headline the whole show. You see, the Gringo Man and Friends show.
Yeah. Who would you want to collaborate with? As whether reggaeton or dance or whoever, who would you want to collaborate with?
Right now, I would collaborate in dancehall with Shaggy because I grew up with him. We compete together, Starlight Ballroom. You know, he was on Atomic Nuclear. I was on BabyQuake, my sound system. We was on the same label, Signet. You know, so it's a person that, you know, I grew up with. And in reggaeton, I would say I would collaborate
Going to the third floor.
with I would collaborate with Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, with Daddy Yankee, because these are individuals. Daddy Yankee, because I know where he came. I know where he came from. You see, I know a lot from where he got a lot of things from his success. Bad Bunny, because right now he's carrying the flag, you know, for reggaeton, and I respect him for how he did the Super Bowl. You see, when I seen what he did with the Super Bowl and how he stood strong on the culture, I respected that all hands down. You know.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap here.
Yeah.
For now, this was possibly the longest interview I've ever done. Parker here. Possibly the longest interview I've ever done. Probably 12 hours. But we had a lot to talk about, and the vibe.
Okay.
And the vibe. And I respect it, you know. I respect your discipline and your mission. And I think you're a very important person for music and what it means to overcome. And I really wish you all the successes as you push forward in your career. You know.
But boy, I appreciate a lot. You don't know. You know, this gonna be like my wife Monique said to tell you, JR said, thank you very much, because yo, you didn't have to do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's a great story, and we're gonna break it down and put it to the audience and let them digest it how they want. And you know, we're gonna put stuff like a trigger enough people.
Yeah.
It's like on the Shaggy interview.
Yeah, for real.
Half of them I say, yo, even Baby Rasta didn't respond.
Yeah, you respond.
Yeah, a whole heap of people, and became a whole vibe. So big up, my bro.
All right.
Thank you for the interview.
Likewise.
Yeah, Flatbush turn up from Brooklyn to the island of the continent. Betting where we are just after. The founder is